So Weldon, what are you thinking of the AGA conference?
Hey, it's great. After years of GPA and other conferences, this is my first AGA conference. It's a bunch of good people, a lot of the same ones, some new faces, but amazing things being talked about.
So which of the committee meetings have you been hanging out in the last couple of days?
Transmission measurement,
So what are you guys talking about in there?
alternative energy 364.
Okay, could you unpack that for me a little bit? What is alternative energy 364?
Well, the majority of the discussion that we're having that's new to the committee is all about methane from wastewater treatment plants, methane from landfill recovery, and worried about what's going to happen with hydrogen. But we still got to reserve one day a year for worrying about the rest of business.
So those are all topics that a lot of people are interested in and spending a lot of time on. What's your take? What do you think the challenge is with the more classic types of things like the wastewater treatment and the landfill methane? What are some of the challenges with measurement from that standpoint?
Well, the challenges are that in the mainstream business, whether it's pipeline, even if it's production and midstream, companies have come to the conclusion we can't push the limits of contracts every minute of every day. With landfill gas, with wastewater treatment, methane recovery, they're pushing the limits. They're having to run recovery equipment, scrubbing equipment, 24/7, 365 to meet a pipeline spec. But they're trying to push right at the limit all the time, so tiny deviations means the slam valve goes off.
Yeah, so that's got to have real economic consequences, particularly when you start looking at the gas quality that you're going to find in the tariffs versus the gas quality you're getting off of those sources of methane.
Exactly. Because you've got a lot of nitrogen, you've got CO2 they're trying to scrub. It's not pipeline grade gas on its own. But on top of that, the contaminants, the silicate contaminants in there, that's something our industry hasn't dealt with before, right?
Well, it doesn't lend itself as much to the classical way that we process gas, right? Because it's low pressure and and it's low flow. So I imagine it's a challenging technical problem from a measurement standpoint to get what do we got to do to get this gas to pipeline quality so we can deliver it to end users.
Exactly. The transportation pipelines and the LDCs are facing something they've never seen before. The midstream business knows about oxygen. They know about sucking oxygen into a vapor recovery system or sucking oxygen to a near atmospheric or vacuum system. But all of a sudden, the LDCs and the pipelines are faced with these guys that drive a bulldozer over a recovery line, and all of a sudden they're sucking air into their system. That's new.
No, exactly. I think it's very interesting. So I'm kind of interested. What did you talk about related to hydrogen from a measurement perspective?
Well, let's face it. 50 years, hydrogen bad, get it out of our gas, Now Europe is exclusively focused on we're going to put 10, we're going to put 20. The goal is 50% down the road into the pipelines, A lot of the work today is on point of use, right? We're going to store hydrogen right by the turbine that's going to burn it. But the plan down the road is we want windmills in West Texas to make hydrogen. We want to drop it in a pipeline. We want to ship it up north. We want to strip it out, okay? That's a whole new world.
Yeah, no doubt. So obviously some interesting topics of conversation in the Transmission Measurement Committee.